Are you thinking about stopping drinking, or have you recently stopped? This video will provide you with all of the practical strategies and tools around how to build what we call a sobriety toolbox. These are ways to keep yourself sober in the long term. So stick around to the end of the video for 5 really practical ways of how to do this. This is a new channel and it's all about how to overcome alcohol addiction. My name is Sophie Harris and I am a cognitive behavioural therapist and addiction coach. I have 12 years experience working in the NHS, and also I run an addiction coaching program helping professional people who are finding that maybe they're doing well in many areas of their life, however alcohol is an area which they're really struggling with. So please subscribe below, and what else? Stick around until the end of the video. Firstly, what is a sobriety toolbox? For the context of this video, I mean this to be almost some survival strategies and techniques that will help to keep you sober. This could be a physical box that you actually create, or it could be a theoretical box that you also create too. So we will use a combination of the different styles of doing this to make up this video and guidance. Next, let's look at 5 things to include in a sobriety toolbox. The first part is things that could be included in an actual box. This is taken from what we know as self-soothing kits or self-soothing boxes, which is widely used in mental health recovery anyway, and taken particularly from dialectical behavioural therapy. This is a way of providing a physical place for us to go to when we're in emotional distress. But this can just be used in sobriety when, for example, experiencing a craving or something like that. So things that could be included in this are perhaps scents which calm you down. That could be essential oils or a candle. Maybe positive quotes that you have collected or make you feel inspired. Either photographs of loved ones, or maybe a photograph of yourself, or some time from the past, and reminding yourself that you don't want to go back to that place. This could be a CD if you still use CDs, or things to hear. Anything that can help to regulate our emotions, as we know that when we stop drinking alcohol, this is a time when we really need that extra support in regulating our emotions. The next step is around finding activities which are either self-care activities or just things to do in general. Now that we've stopped drinking, we'll have a lot more time to devote to ourselves, funny word, and therefore we want to find positive ways to fill that time and to do things that are actually going to make us feel good about ourselves. So on the screen now, I'm just going to include a list of a variety of different activities, And then from this, just thinking about what for you would be really helpful ways of managing yourself, whether it's taking a walk, going and listening to an audiobook, doing a jigsaw puzzle. Maybe it's a combination of doing things which you have at home or things that you do out of the house, things that you maybe do with other people or do alone, and just really trying to create a combination of activities that will help you, especially through the early days of sobriety. One of these activities that deserves a whole section of its own is exercise. Exercise is something that I can't recommend enough for supporting a long-lasting sobriety. It's really helped me in my own transition into not drinking, and I know that it is such a powerful tool for those looking for a long-lasting recovery. Exercise helps us to regulate our emotions, to feel good about our bodies and connect ourselves with our bodies, to improve anxiety levels and lift our mood. And it's something that is so powerful. There's studies completed which show it to be as effective, or if not more effective, than cognitive behavioural therapy and antidepressant medication. I hear a lot from my clients that actually, I'm just really not an exercise person, but what I do is try to encourage people to find a way of building exercise in, even if they don't consider themselves as an exercise person. This could be anything from taking stairs rather than the lift, or trying to walk extra, walking with a friend, to heavy weightlifting sessions, to croquet. Is that the right word? I don't know why that came into my head. But just finding any kind of gentle exercise and actually which you will enjoy. And maybe if you start doing it, you might find yourself enjoying it more. And a fourth thing to include in our sobriety toolbox is mindfulness exercises of some kind. Mindfulness is a really helpful way to learn to regulate our emotions again, which is something that we really, really need during the early days of sobriety. Once we've taken alcohol out of the equation, which has been our go-to for managing our emotions, we need something else to do that. It also boosts our immune system and it helps us to manage stress. It can improve our mood. But what we need to do is find manageable ways to build that into a routine. So that could be things, even if it's just sitting for 5 to 10 minutes and just being at peace. Or it could be washing hands or doing day-to-day tasks mindfully, like cleaning teeth. Or it could be mini mindfulness or meditation practices. It could be actually taking it a step further and going to a Buddhist center or taking a mindfulness and meditation course. If possible, it would be really great to find a way to build this in. And I will actually link some resources because there's loads of beginner mindfulness meditation apps and books available. And the fifth area is nutrition. After stopping drinking, it's not unusual to find an increased appetite, particularly for sweet or sugary foods, as we're losing all of that sugar consumption that we would have had. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't lie in bed eating ice cream for the first couple of weeks. However, this is fine, but also there are other ways to regulate our systems in that way. So, for a long-lasting recovery, I wouldn't want to stay just eating ice cream and chocolate because I know that that's not how I want my body to feel. And actually, by stopping drinking, I give myself a chance to really work on my nutrition and actually really listen to my body and what it needs. So, I'm not an expert on nutrition. I know the basics around following a healthy diet, and I've sought nutritionist help previously, which has helped me to do that. But as we know, there's so many resources available. But then just thinking about getting a balanced diet which meets the needs of your body and actually feeling excited about being able to listen to your body rather than dulling it with drinking and not being able to listen to it. And I said there were going to be 5 steps, but a bonus is number 6, is to include activities of socialising and things that you'll enjoy. I would say one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when they stop drinking is cutting off any kind of social contact and just staying in because they're worried about starting drinking. Obviously, you can do whatever you want and whatever way works for you. However, I would really recommend trying to build in some social activities, maybe that don't involve drinking. And it could be spending time with friends, with maybe young babies who aren't drinking at the moment anyway, or your friends who don't drink generally, booking in to go to gigs or theatre or, things. Obviously there will be drink there, but things which you could really enjoy without the alcohol being the sole focus. For example, if I go to a gig of some music that I love, I'm going to be more focused on the music compared to going to some kind of nightclub which I'm not that interested in, and alcohol would be the main activity. Other things available, there's more and more sober meetups or just meetups in general, or ways to meet people without alcohol. Other things could include listening to music, going to exercise classes where there's music playing, or creating music playlists, anything that gets you to do the things that you would have done with alcohol, but without the alcohol. Okay, now you've heard my 6 ways of how to build a sobriety toolbox and things that you could think about whilst ensuring long-term sobriety. I'd love to hear what you think of these, and also any that you have of your own. So please comment below around what other ideas or what has helped you stop drinking, or what you do whilst you're drinking that you think that you could continue to do when you stop drinking. I have an online community on Facebook, and I will provide the link below of how to access that. It is full of like-minded people who are maybe having difficulties with their relationship with alcohol, and there's some really helpful conversations going on in that group. Other than that, then also I have a free masterclass which is available, and it is around, I believe, 50 minutes long, and it is all about really step by step about how to manage in sobriety. It goes a lot more into the emotional impact, and a lot of my therapist experience I use within that to help people who are in the early stages, just to really get them going. So please find the link below, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And just, I believe that is it. It's been good to talk to you, and I will see you next Monday. Please feel free to check out my other videos for any other helpful strategies to use as you go on your own journey of stopping drinking.